JJ, so you get within one in that like, about a minute to go in the third, and then Fox hits the back-to-back threes, and maybe some clock management issues.
We talked about it. Yep.
Yeah, but then to have LeBron start the fourth quarter, and not that it was just him, but I think 16 points in about 3 minutes, and flips it to a 14-point. Well, what did you see from him specifically in that stretch, and how important was it?
Yeah, I mean we've talked about our end of quarter stuff a few times, and the guys, I just think we just had a momentary lapse when we got that offensive rebound. I'm going to talk about LeBron in a second, but coming out of that timeout at the end of the third, we're down 7, and Dalton hits that 3, cuts it to 4. So I think the angst that we felt in ending that quarter that way, that was a big shot. Dalton was over there in his warm-ups, just kind of casually stretching. I said, "Hey, are you ready to make a shot?" He said, "I'm always ready." I wish that shot was a little more open, but he has the ability to just hit tough ones, and then to just get that performance to start the fourth from LeBron. I mean, what can you say? We've all been very fortunate to watch his greatness for so long, and the fact that he's able to keep doing it, it's actually insane. It's actually insane. But, we executed really well in the fourth. To get 44 points in a quarter was great. And I would just kind of add, the last 2 games, last night and tonight, basketball is a game of imperfect, and our guys, weathered some bad stretches, some bad breaks, and the resiliency that we've built this week, I believe, is a very good foundation for our group.
JJ, a lot has been made over the past couple of years of the Domantas Sabonis AD matchup, and entering tonight, Sabonis had been 10-0 against AD, and obviously that's a team stat, not necessarily an individual stat, but in kind of looking at maybe some of the past games, as you mentioned pregame, and AD's performance tonight, third straight 30-point game, what was maybe a difference in what he did or how you guys used him against Sacramento?
It doesn't feel like we did anything differently than what we've been doing with AD. I believe Dan jinxed me pregame because he made me talk about our ball control, and then it was a mixed bag actually of the 19 turnovers, and some were because of their physicality and pressure. I thought they really came in with a really good game plan to be disruptive. Started on the first few possessions. It was very noticeable. Some was our own. Some was our own just poor decision making. And so, sometimes in a game, those things are happening, and you can kind of lose sight of the execution piece and the game plan piece because the live ball turnovers really hurt you. I thought what we wanted to do for the most part in the half court defensively against Sabonis and against their really good players, we did pretty well. It was really just in transition that we just really got hurt tonight.
You mentioned basketball being a game of imperfect. No. Well, maybe. I mean, we'll see what happens on Monday now. In the fourth, LeBron and AD, 11 for 11 combined from the field. There's imperfections over the course of a game, but those two players.
That's funny. I said to AD during the fourth, I said, hey, it's a game of imperfect. Doesn't mean it can't be great, though. Doesn't mean it can't be great. Those guys played great. And, again, we're fortunate. We're fortunate for our group that we have two of the best players in the world. And those guys showed up tonight. And I thought AR as well, just, we had him in AD in that angle pick and roll, which we haven't even ran that. Like, we've gotten to that through motion, but to just come down and be static. We did that a little bit with LeBron and AD as well. To come down and be static, that is a testament to how good all three of those guys are. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dan.
No, that was good.
Okay.
That's fine.
I just didn't want you to put something out in the universe that I didn't want.
I mean, I've got some ideas.
When you were playing, was there any point when you were, on a team like, say, Philadelphia, whatever, that had aspirations of winning it all, and surveying the other opponents around the league, and did you think the LeBron reign was over at any point? I mean, was there any ever like conversation that you have where that's not going to be a hurdle that we have to get through in order to achieve the goal, or has he always kind of held that mantle?
He was always lurking, for sure. He was always on your radar. When I was in Orlando and he was in the East, you knew you had to go through him. Certainly had to go through the Celtics as well, but he was there. When I was in Philly that first year, we knew he was there. I believe that was the year they kind of made a bunch of deals at the deadline and just basically played 4 shooters around him and ended up beating Boston in Game 7. I go to New Orleans and they trade for AD and he's there again. He's lurking. Yeah.
As you had put it in your previous life, obviously you faced LeBron as a player on the opposite side. What was it like watching him go on one of those heaters on your side? And also,
Yeah.
do you feel like you've learned anything about him in your short time as a coach that you didn't already know from podcasting with him or playing against him?
Look, I think in general, when you operate out of gratitude, you sometimes have a feeling of surrealness, and I've certainly had that many times and many days as the head coach of the Lakers. And tonight was a surreal moment to watch him, coach him. In terms of what I've learned, I actually learned something tonight, which is that during timeouts, when I'm drawing up plays and talking, and he's also talking, that he hears and sees everything. So, noted.
JJ, with all the different things AD has done to have a major impact on the game these first 3 games, he's had double-digit attempts and free throws in all of them. What do you think he's done to maximize his chances with that?
Well, part of that is a byproduct of the positions on the floor and the space we're giving him. We're very intentional about trying to take away the help. So because of his physicality and his skill, he's a tough one-on-one cover. And, he's really good at drawing fouls. And I think it's a byproduct of just us kind of really being mindful about the space we're giving him and how we're giving him that space.